100% support to those who do not, or cannot, or will not pay the poll tax.
For much of his political career, Tony Benn was seen as a left-wing firebrand, indulging in what he called extra-parliamentary activity, or put simply, taking the argument for socialism onto the streets. His first victory against the establishment was when, as Anthony Wedgwood Benn, he refused to inherit his father's peerage in the early 60s so he could remain an MP, a battle fought not in the barricades, but in the courts and ultimately in the Commons.
You have defeated the Tory cabinet. You have defeated the House of Lords.
As a minister in Harold Wilson's government, he was seen as a moderniser and a technocrat rather than a radical. He helped clear the supersonic Concorde project for takeoff. Wilson later said that Tony Benn immatured with age. Certainly he was one of the few politicians to become more left-wing in office. In 1981, after Labour's election defeat, he split the party down the middle, challenging Dennis Healey for the deputy leadership and losing narrowly. His critics say the divisions he highlighted helped keep Labour from power for almost 2 decades. He argued for nationalisation of the big banks, abolition of the Lords and withdrawal from the EU.
The Humphrey Applebys of every country in Europe have got together and they say, you can't do this, Minister, because we've agreed with the Dutch that if they do this, the Belgians won't object to what the Italians have said to the people from Luxembourg, so the Minister has got no power. Anyway.
In 2001, he said he was leaving Parliament to take up politics and was a leading figure in the campaign to stop the Iraq War. The popularity of his one-man shows, where people across the political spectrum paid to hear his thoughts, confirmed that he'd completed the journey from dangerous radical to national institution. He was also a prolific diarist, a chronicler of contemporary events. And just last year he told the BBC that he remained convinced that politics shouldn't be about shoddy compromise.
My mother said to me once, she said all decisions, including political decisions, are basically moral. Is it right or wrong?
Tony Benn often declared that politics should be about policy, not personality. But today, Westminster has lost one of its most distinctive and distinguished figures.